Have you ever had people tell you that you charge too much for tutoring? If so, then you're going to want to keep listening. Welcome back. Before we talk about people that think that maybe you charge too much, I want to talk about TutorBird for a quick second. TutorBird allows you to be able to get paid on time every time. You're able to send invoices or even automate the entire process so that you never have to sit down and figure out how much people owe you, when, who's paid, and who hasn't. The system takes care of itself. Check out this if you would like a 90-day free trial of TutorBird.
TutorBird lets you schedule lessons, take attendance, collect payments, and much more, all in one place.
I want you to feel confident about the value of your work, and I want you to be able to charge what you are worth. A lot of times people will try to talk you into charging less. And the problem with undercharging is that not only do you lose out financially, but you are in danger of becoming resentful towards the students that you work with. And then you start to resent the time that you've spent working for them, and you resent the demands that they make on you. And in turn, they're not valuing the work that it is that you do. And because of this, you end up feeling underappreciated, overworked, and probably miserable. Well, today, we are going to end that forever so that you can begin charging what you are worth. Now, there's a formula that we're going to create here for you so that you understand not a lot of times that people think that you are charging too much, but really what it is they don't understand the value of what it is that you do. So to really get paid what you deserve for the work, you need to understand the value of the work that you provide. You need to communicate that value to your prospective clients. And finally, you need to be comfortable discussing your fees with them. So here's what the formula looks like. It's UV plus CV plus CD equals CW. What in the world does that mean, right? UV is understanding your value. CV is communicating your value. CD is being comfortable discussing the fees, and CW is charging what you're worth, okay? So it's a simple formula. It's UV plus CV plus CD equals CW. I know this can be challenging as you start to think about it because it's our self-worth, right? Our self-worth is at the heart of everything that we do, and it drives our behavior. As human beings, we're motivated by pleasure or by pain. So we're either moving towards pleasure or moving away from pain. And to put this into business context, if you don't feel 100% worthy, how can you possibly charge what you're worth? Your perception of what you're worth is too low. If someone tells you to increase your charges, it makes you feel uncomfortable. When you feel uncomfortable, what do? You move away from whatever is causing that discomfort. So if the idea of charging more for your work makes you feel uncomfortable, you do whatever you can to get away from that thought or feeling. You may even start to say, oh, well, other people are overcharging for their services, or you stick with the fees that you're currently charging, even if it means you're not getting paid for what you deserve to get paid for. But fortunately, in this situation, there is a way to change the situation. And it's one that won't make you feel at all uncomfortable. You're going to discover the value of the work that you deliver. And when you understand, you're going to be able to communicate that value to your prospective clients. That's going to help you boost your feelings of self-worth, which in turn will enable you to charge what you're worth. Now, if you're like a lot of the tutors that I meet, you might not really appreciate how valuable your work is to the students that you work with. You'll probably set your fees based on what other people in your market charge. Perhaps you heard that you should never be the cheapest or the most expensive in your market, so you set your fees somewhere in between those two extremes. You might also have conflicting beliefs about money. And if you do, it's not surprising. Most of us are brought up hearing all kinds of opposing ideas about money, and they probably include some of the following. Maybe you've heard money is the root of all evil, or money doesn't grow on trees. Maybe you've even said things like, I can't afford that. You might not even be aware of the fact that you have these conflicting beliefs about money. Unfortunately, these beliefs, they're going to be influencing your behavior. Your inner thoughts are going to create your belief system, which in turn become your reality. For instance, if you have a belief that money is the root of all evil, you're going to do whatever you can to avoid having too much money. And if your belief is money spoils you, then you're going to do whatever you can to ensure that you don't have too much money. Now, not all of our beliefs we have about money are negative. For example, I've always had the belief that I have plenty of money. And as a result, I've had a healthy bank balance and I've never once overdrawn. So, how do you change your thoughts? A quick way to change your negative thoughts about money into positive ones is to make a conscious effort to repeat positive affirmations throughout your day. Affirmations are those statements that can condition your subconscious mind so that you can develop a more positive perception about money. And affirmations can help you change harmful behaviors and accomplish goals. And they can also help undo the damage caused by negative thoughts, those things which we repeatedly tell ourselves that may contribute to the negative perception of something. So here are some different things that we can begin saying to ourselves. Money is good. I'm very capable of making lots of money. Oh, that one just felt really good to me when I said it. Notice how you feel when you say it. If you feel good inside, you're in flow. But all of a sudden, if it doesn't feel right, you're going to notice that you're out of flow. You're going to notice this feeling in your gut that doesn't feel right. And that's how you know that's a thought belief that you need to change. What about this one? I deserve to make lots of money. It's okay to have more money than I need. I enjoy making lots of money. I do. I love being able to bless people with the money that I have. I love to be able to do the things that I want to do without ever having to say, I can't afford to do that. Instead, I can just choose if I really want to do it or not do it. And money doesn't have to even be in the factor of whether I do it or not. It feels good to make money and helping, my business succeed. Oh, and I love this one. Money makes life easier. It does. It opens up possibilities for the future and everything. It's great. Now, you want to understand your client's needs. To really appreciate the value of the work that you do, you need to understand what are their needs. I want you to think about, how do you identify your students' urgent needs? To find this out, you can have a free consultation. And during the free consultation, you need to ask open-ended questions. So you can ask, the questions with words like what, where, when, why, who, tell me about, or tell me how, tell me more about, so that you can really get a real good idea of what isn't working. You can't ask a client like, oh, what's your pain point? Okay, no, we have to think about their pain point when we're creating our content on our website. But when we think about what is their pain, you can't just come out and say, what's your pain, right? That's just going to be really weird to do that. So you just have an open conversation about that. Tell me more about what reading has been like so far for your child. And then if you need more clarification on something, then you can just ask for it right then and there. So here's something that a lot of tutors don't know. If you don't first demonstrate the value of what it is that you do and communicate it in a way that makes sense to them, it doesn't matter how much you quote them. They will say it is too high for whatever you charge. A lot of people think, oh, they just really can't afford it. And that might be the case. They might be in a situation where it doesn't matter who they're tutoring with. Tutoring is off the table because it doesn't fit where they're at financially. It absolutely can be, but those usually aren't the people that are looking for services. So what's really happening is they don't see the value of your service and what it's going to be able to do for them. Once they understand the value, the fees that you quote, it should seem relatively low by comparison of what they're going to gain because of it. So when somebody asks me what I charge, I'm able just to tell them what it is that I charge. I just say I charge $100 an hour. I charge by the month. I've made it super simple for you so that you just have to, set your information in one time, and it's kind of set it and forget it. We keep going until either your child has met their goal or you want to stop tutoring. They have complete control over the entire situation. And so really when I tell them what my price is, I don't tell them it right out of the gate. I wait. I need to learn more about the student before I tell them what it is that I charge. I need to learn, is this student even a good fit for me? Am I able to provide the services and get the results that the parent is looking for? And really listen to them. What are they struggling with right now? How can I be the solution to that problem? Am I the solution to that problem? I may or I may not be. Once we realize that, yes, I can help them with this problem, and we've finished the conversation, then at the end, now it's time to talk about moving forward and how much you charge. And sometimes, most of the time, clients don't even ask. They don't care. At that point, they have already found so much value in what I'm going to be able to provide for their child that they're not asking anymore. Next, you want to value yourself. So if you don't value yourself, how are your clients going to be able to value you, right? How can you treat your clients well? if you don't know how to treat yourself in the right way. The more you value yourself and the more you charge what you're worth, the more likely you are to actually create value for the students you work with. So how do we learn how to appreciate ourselves? So here's an affirmation that you can begin saying, and I want you guys to write this down. I now create fantastic value for my clients, and in doing so, I'm easily charging what my work is worth. And then you repeat this throughout your day. We want to be able to communicate the value, right? So when you tell clients your fee or your hourly rate, you have to say it confidently, right? If you don't say it with confidence, your clients are going to pick up on that hesitation, that doubt, and they're not going to accept it. So what do you do if you don't feel confident about your charges? You practice until you can quote them with absolute certainty and confidence so that you're completely comfortable with them. You must be able to quote your charges with the same conviction that you tell someone that it's a Monday or it's a Tuesday, right? This applies to whether you have your own business or you work for other people. So here's one very simple technique to help you quote your charges with confidence. Practice in front of a mirror. Look in the mirror and say, I charge, and now your new fee. Practice telling someone on the phone. If a friend or a colleague sit opposite you and practice looking at them, saying how much you charge. Keep doing it until you feel comfortable. Get comfortable with the sound of the words. They're just words, right? Nothing to be scared of. I charge $100 an hour. I charge $200 an hour. When you practice with another person, make and maintain eye contact and say it until your body and tone of voice are relaxed. Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Before long, it won't feel like a big deal anymore. So right now, the only thing that's really stopping you from charging the amount that you deserve is that little voice that's inside of your head telling you that it's too much. That little voice doesn't know what your clients will or won't pay. It really doesn't. So ignore the little voice. Prove it wrong. Now I want you to go on out and charge what you're worth, because when you understand the value of what you do for your clients, you can communicate that value to them, and you're comfortable discussing your fees, you're going to be able to charge what you're worth.